NASA held a 45-minute press event to reveal their complete 3IATLAS dataset. 45 minutes of images, 45 minutes of explanations. And in those 45 minutes, they never mentioned the object's size, not once. While NASA deliberated for 43 days before releasing high-rise data, China's TIANWEN-1 mission shared their Mars orbit observations within 72 hours. No committees, no delays, no bureaucracy, Avi Loeb noticed immediately. The Harvard astrophysicist who correctly predicted Oumuamua's anomalies called out what NASA avoided. 3IATLAS is enormous, 5 kilometers across, 1 million times more massive than Oumuamua. Western institutions held the data. China shared it. And now, the evidence reveals something NASA didn't want to address. This object defies statistical probability, challenges our models, and raises questions establishment science refuses to ask. This is the story of transparency versus silence. Who do you trust? Hubble captured 3IATLAS images in late October. Valuable data, but limited. Hubble observes from Earth orbit, constraining geometry and resolution. NASA's Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter captured high-rise images as the object approached perihelion. From Mars orbit, high-rise offered unprecedented advantages: closer proximity, different viewing angle, superior resolution for studying the nucleus and jet structure. NASA held that data for 43 days before release. But while NASA's bureaucracy processed data through committees, China's National Space Administration made a different choice. TIANWEN-1, China's Mars orbiter, captured trajectory and brightness data during the same observation window. China released their data within 72 hours. No gatekeepers, no classified review, just science. Avi Loeb's response was immediate. This is what transparency looks like. When a discovery affects humanity's understanding of the cosmos, data should flow freely, not through bureaucratic filters. China's rapid release allowed the global scientific community, including Loeb's Galileo project, to begin analysis 6 weeks earlier than NASA's timeline permitted. The TIANWEN-1 data confirmed 3IATLAS trajectory alignment with the planetary plane, a 1 in 500 probability, rare, statistically improbable. Exactly what Loeb predicted. From Mars orbit, HiRISE's geometry reveals features Hubble cannot: anti-sunward jets, nucleus surface characteristics, dust distribution asymmetries. These observations test whether 3IATLAS behaves like natural comets or something requiring new explanations. The difference between 72 hours and 43 days isn't just timing, it's philosophy. One system trusts scientists. One system fears questions. China chose transparency, NASA chose control, and the global research community noticed. When NASA finally revealed their dataset, SOHO smudges, MAVEN halos, Lucy faint signatures, the same Hubble teardrop, they showcased imagery without context. What they didn't showcase: the size. Based on Webb infrared constraints, MAVEN hydrogen halo measurements, and HiRISE brightness profiles, 3IATLAS measures approximately 5 kilometers in diameter. Conservative estimate, possibly larger. To understand how extraordinary this is, consider scale. Oumuamua, or 100 meters. Borisov, 101 kilometer. 3I, Atlas, 5 kilometers. Atlas is 1,000 times more massive than Borisov, 1 million times more massive than Oumuamua. We've observed only 3 interstellar objects. Statistically, smaller objects should dominate. We should detect 1,000 pebbles before seeing a boulder, 10,000 pebbles before seeing a mountain. Yet the third object we've ever detected is the largest by a factor of 1 million. Loeb framed it probabilistically. If you roll dice, you expect every number many times before rolling 1,000 consecutive times. Yet that's the situation with Atlas. Western skeptics dismissed this as coincidence. But probability doesn't favor coincidence at this scale, and China's TIANWEN-1 data confirmed the trajectory anomaly Loeb emphasized: the 1 in 500 alignment with the planetary plane. The math matched Loeb's predictions exactly. The size anomaly creates cascading questions NASA avoided. How much gas can it eject? 5 billion tons, extraordinary for any comet. How is it ejected from its origin system? Planetary scattering requires extreme configurations. Binary star dynamics demand precise geometry. Collision scenarios need perfect alignment. Every mechanism is statistically rare. Why is it ejecting material so efficiently? Large nuclei typically fragment under solar heating. ATLAS remains intact, producing tightly collimated jets despite 16-hour rotation. Natural comets with slow rotation produce broad, spiraling jets. ATLAS produces straight jets, like precision-engineered systems. Then there's chemistry. Spectroscopic analysis detected high nickel concentrations with almost no iron. Nickel and iron form together in stellar nucleosynthesis. Every asteroid, comet, and meteorite humanity has studied shows iron abundance exceeding nickel. The only materials with high nickel and minimal iron? Aerospace-grade alloys. Loeb isn't claiming artificiality. He's stating scientific fact. This composition is unprecedented in natural solar system objects. NASA's press event mentioned none of this. No size discussion, no nickel anomaly, no statistical improbability, no jet collimation paradox. They showed blurry pixels and called the planetary alignment lucky. While NASA framed anomalies as fortunate coincidences, China released data confirming Loeb's statistical models. One institution hides questions. One institution enables answers. The evidence doesn't favor NASA's silence. NASA captured high-rise images, then held them for 43 days. This isn't the first time. Oumuamua. Loeb proposed artificial origins based on excess acceleration. Establishment scientists dismissed him. Years later, no natural explanation fits the data. Loeb's models remain unrefuted. 3IATLAS. Loeb emphasized size, chemistry, and trajectory statistics. NASA held data for 6 weeks. China released theirs in 72 hours, confirming Loeb's probability calculations. The pattern is systemic. When evidence challenges conventional models, Western institutions delay, debate, and deflect. China's approach: share data, let science proceed. While NASA's 43-day review cycle filtered results through bureaucratic approvals, China's rapid release empowered Loeb's Galileo project and international researchers to begin analysis immediately. ESA debated observation priorities. NASA classified imaging schedules. China acted. That's not propaganda. That's scientific leadership. Loeb responded publicly. Transparency isn't optional in science. When humanity encounters objects from beyond our solar system, the data belongs to everyone, not institutional gatekeepers. Why does the West fear open inquiry? Because anomalies threaten established narratives. Because statistical improbabilities demand uncomfortable questions. Because acknowledging the size means acknowledging our models may be incomplete. China didn't fear those questions. NASA did. And while bureaucracies deliberated, the global research community learned who prioritizes truth over control. December 19th. 3IATLAS reaches closest approach to Earth. Peak observational opportunity. Maximum thermal stress on the nucleus. Critical moment for testing fragmentation, outgassing, and structural integrity. But here's what changed. The Galileo project now has collaborative access to Chinese observatories, ground-based arrays across Asia, radio telescopes, infrared facilities. Chinese astrophysicists are coordinating with Loeb's team. Data flows freely, no bureaucratic barriers. Loeb's predictions for December 19th. If natural and fragile, fragmentation expected under perihelion heating. If structurally robust, intact nucleus with enhanced jet activity. China's telescopes will track every detail. JWST and Hubble will observe. MAVEN will monitor hydrogen emissions. HiRISE will capture post-perihelion morphology. But the critical difference, while NASA's schedule moves through institutional approvals, China's data sharing happens in real time. This is the partnership Western gatekeepers feared. While NASA watches from the sidelines of its own bureaucracy, the future of interstellar research is being built elsewhere, Every observation eliminates possibilities. Every measurement refines models. And unlike NASA, China and Loeb aren't afraid of the answers. For 43 days, NASA held the data the world needed. For 72 hours, China shared theirs. The difference? One system fears uncomfortable questions. One system embraces evidence. Avi Loeb stood with transparency. China stood with Loeb. And today, we see the results. Loeb was right about the size anomaly, 5 kilometers, 1 million times Oumuamua's mass. China's data confirmed the 1 in 500 trajectory alignment. NASA's delay revealed a pattern. Suppress questions, control narratives, avoid statistical challenges. Not belief. Evidence, not narrative control. Data. The gatekeepers wanted you to wait. China said humanity deserves to know. Loeb said trust the evidence. The evidence speaks. December 19th will test every prediction. Stay curious. Demand transparency. Evidence over institutional gatekeeping. Who will you trust?